It's time for our 8-legged friends to take over the lab once again. But don't worry, they're here to do science with us, not to destroy it. They have other strengths which we will see in this video. People say that someone is octopus smart. They usually mean that the person is very smart and can handle complex tasks easily. And although you might think that this comparison is just a figure of speech, it turns out that there are at least 3 areas where octopuses are smarter than humans. But how? What makes them so smart? Let's find out. When thinking about intelligence, we humans often imagine a furry or a hairy creature sitting in a comfy chair, drinking tea and solving mathematical equations. Well, if you imagine that creature with tentacles instead of arms, you'll be closer to the truth because apparently octopuses are better at math than us. Don't believe me? Let's test them. Researchers from the University of Chicago made a study in which they trained 24 California 2-spot octopuses to play a game in which they had to choose 1 out of 3 containers where the researchers hid food. In the beginning, the scientists put the food in different places inside the container so the octopuses could get to it. Over time, the task became more difficult as the researchers began closing some of the containers to make the food less accessible. And it got even harder when they started hiding the containers behind barriers. Eventually, some octopuses were able to understand that if they pulled the barrier, they would have access to the prize. So after pulling the lever several times, all the octopuses learned that the first container was the one that had food. After that, researchers swapped the positions of the containers to check if the octopuses would still know which one had the food, and guess what? They did. That means they understood that the container was the thing that had the food, not just a particular place in the aquarium. So far, only 1 species of octopus has shown this kind of intelligence. But there's a chance that other species can do it too. To better understand what just happened, let us remember that mammals, such as dogs or pigs, are also able to learn tricks and solve problems by trial and error. However, they don't use logic to understand what causes what, like pulling the lever and getting food. They just associate one thing with another. In the case of octopuses, it seems like they are capable of making inferences from their experiences, which makes them smarter than other animals in this aspect. But wait, that's not the only thing they're good at. They are masters of disguise. Have you ever tried to match the color and texture of your clothes to the environment so no one could see you? If you have, you're definitely not the only one. Because it turns out that octopuses can do that too. And they do it way better than us. When an octopus wants to blend in, it goes into camouflage mode. First, it detects the color and texture of its environment through specialized cells called photoreceptors that are located all over its body. Then it changes the color and texture of its skin to match that of the surroundings. And it does that incredibly fast. It takes them around 30 minutes to change color and only a few minutes to mimic texture. Not only that, but they can also change their skin transparency to further conceal themselves from predators or prey. This is possible thanks to specialized pigment cells called chromatophores. Chromatophores contain sacs full of pigments. By expanding or contracting these sacs, the octopus can control how much of the pigment is visible. And they can do this independently from each other, meaning that they can have a different pattern on each part of their body. Plus, they can expand these sacs with water or contract them without it, giving them the ability to change their skin texture. And they're really good at doing this. They can do it as fast as every 60 milliseconds, which is 10 times faster than we are. And that's not the only thing they're better at than us. They're uncrackable puzzle solvers. We humans like to think of ourselves as geniuses who can solve any problem. But when faced with a maze, it turns out that an octopus is smarter than us. In a study conducted by scientists at the Okinawa Institute of Science and Technology in Japan, a group of octopuses were put to the test. They were placed inside mazes with 3 possible exits, only one of which led to food. At first, the octopuses explored all the paths at random, trying to find the correct one. But they quickly learned that one of the exits didn't lead anywhere and abandoned it. Then they continued testing the other 2 until they found the food. They repeated this process until they successfully found the food in less than 10 minutes. But that's not all. Octopuses also learned from their previous attempts and used that knowledge to solve new mazes with different layouts. They did this by remembering the number of arms they had to pass through before reaching a dead end and adjusting their behavior based on that memory. On average, they took fewer steps to find the right exit than human participants in the same experiment. So maybe next time you want to boast about how smart you are, remember that octopuses are out there solving mazes faster than you. But why are they so smart? Throughout history, various cultures have attributed human characteristics to animals in mythology and folklore, often as a way to explain their behavior or place in the natural world. For example, in ancient Greek mythology, animals were believed to possess human-like qualities such as intelligence, emotions, and even speech. These stories serve not only to entertain, but also to teach valuable lessons about the world around them. Similarly, in Native American cultures, animals are often seen as teachers and guides, offering wisdom and guidance to humans. These beliefs and values have been passed down through generations, shaping our understanding and respect for the natural world. However, in the real world, animals are not actually as smart as us. I mean, they can't build spaceships or write books, but there is one animal that is surprisingly close to being as smart as humans. Octopuses have a lot in common with us. They have excellent memories, are curious, intelligent creatures with a taste for adventure. They're also highly adaptable, able to thrive in a wide range of environments. Just like humans, they're problem solvers who can figure out how to get what they want. And they're even capable of feeling pain and suffering. All these similarities have led many people to wonder if octopuses are actually as smart as humans. Well, the answer is yes and no. Yes, they're smarter than most animals because they have large brains relative to their body size. But compared to us, their intelligence is focused on different things. Octopuses excel in areas like spatial awareness and problem solving, while humans are better at language and abstract thinking. Ultimately, there's no single measure of intelligence that applies to all creatures. Each species has its own unique strengths and abilities. So while it may never be proven scientifically that an octopus is as smart as a human, one thing is for sure, they're pretty darn close. And now that you know just how smart they are, I hope you appreciate them a little bit more. You know, next time you see an octopus at the aquarium, just remember that it's a genius hiding under the sea. And hey, maybe it's smarter than you, which is pretty cool, isn't it? Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please leave a like and comment below with the next topic you want to see. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of our future content. See you next time.